Hi everybody, hi again. I've been on once today, I was on last night. I'm Karen, owner and artist of From My Palette to Yours. I'm a resident artist here for Paint Pixie. That's something I absolutely love to do. I'm working on this round side table. It's gonna go outside on my porch next to my chairs that have this pillow in them. So this is my inspiration, or these colors. Hi Pam, thank you. Hi Melissa, thank you for watching, you guys. I sure appreciate it so very much. Anyway, so these are my colors I'm using. Hi, you know, if I put my glasses on, I could read. Hi Enza, it's so nice to have you here. So anyway, I've been working on this. So this morning, I worked on the blending down here, and I've been doing a soft blending with my artist brushes. So I've been using the Turquoise Iris the Hobbyist series, the Boss, and then I've also got the wash, her 1-inch wash that's called the Pro. It's called the Pro Wash, and so I've been using these two brushes, and they've been working really great. Hi Debbie, hi Jane, thank you guys for watching. So they've been really great to do all this down here, but as I was thinking about these legs and I'm filling them, I've been trying to leave myself some texture on them, and I'm not getting it with my brushes. And so I think what I want to do is I want to try the Caddy or the Stipply on the legs and just see what they look like, because I really do want to leave some texture here, and I feel like maybe I might get a little bit better coverage too quicker. So this leg has only got just like one coat of paint on. This one has more, so we've got a little bit better base here. But I just thought I would start and try to use the Caddy or the Stipply. I'll see if the Caddy's too big for these skinny little legs, I'll use the Stipply. So this is the Caddy brush. Okay, and it's great for dry brushing, it's great for blending. You can, you know, if I use it, I'm gonna be doing this with it. This is our Stipply, which is just a marvelous brush. It's round, and I can do this with it as well. It's stiffer, and so I kind of feel like I might want to use this one. It's a little bit softer. I think it's going to give my arm less of a workout too, and on 4 legs and a bunch of colors, that kind of comes into play. So I think I'm gonna go in and see what it does. If I make a big mess, then I'll let it dry and I'll, you know, touch up spots. Not a big deal. And maybe I'll go in first with this and then fine tune with this. We'll just see what happens. I'm going to be using Paint Pixie's Magical Chaulk Paint. It's a beautiful paint. It's new on the market, and any of you that have tried it will agree with me. It is just so fun to use. Beautiful, vibrant colors, great coverage. The durability is great. Blending, wonderful. It's just been it's just so fun to work with. So we're going to just be using a whole bunch of colors in that. And a lot of these colors are actually pretty close to each other, and so you may not see a ton of difference on here as I start working, but you will as I build up. So if you'll just be patient with me. Now, I've got my light off right now. Is this good light for you guys to see, or is it better now that I turn on my blinding light? So let me know which way is better, if the ring light works better, if you can see better, or if it gives too much of a glare. So light or no light, if anybody could let me know what their thoughts are on that. It's really hard to tell on this end what's going to be the best. So I'll leave it on, and I'll wait and see if anybody says it's better off. If it is, then I'll turn it back off. In the way a little bit right there. Let me just... Both look fine? Okay, well then, if they both look fine, that light's going off because that just blinds me. Alrighty, let's just get started. I'm going to start with my Caddy, and I've got Candy Apple Red out. So I'm just going to dump a little more out. I've got some left from earlier today, and it's literally so cold down here in this room that it's not even dried on my palette here. So it's definitely good to go. And I'm going to start with Violet Lemonade, Candied Papaya, and Candied Apple. And the reason that I'm going to start with those 3, and I may actually turn on or use just a little bit of the honeycomb here and there with it, but I have absolutely no worries about these colors. Hi Melissa, thank you. Hi Pamela, thank you again. That's great. If it looks good without the light, I'm going to go with that, so I don't have to stare into it. The reason I'm going to use these 3 colors and not worry one bit is they can mix together all they want, and I'm never going to get an ugly color. It's never going to go muddy, and the yellow can go along with those. I would not want to add my green in because I would start to make some bad colors with the greens and reds. Green and yellow would be fine, but the greens and reds not so much. So you're going to see me add in a few colors at a time here, and we're just going to kind of play with this leg a little bit and see what we think. So I will dip into a little yellow and a little pink right now. We'll just start with those 2. Now this is going to be a very wet technique, okay, and I'm just going to start to bring it on, and I want to turn my brush as I go so that I get a nice blend and it doesn't look like a pattern. Okay, I like that so far. Let's go into orange and red here. So we've got the candied papaya and the candied apple right now. The pink's still in there, so it's adding to it. Okay, I think this is what I'm gonna love on this. I think this is gonna be a really good way to go. And I'm gonna get coverage a lot faster this way, and it's just gonna be really pretty. Now when you're using a brush like this, you can blend for a long time and make it really smooth blending. Okay, so you don't have big splotches of just one color or another. Or you can leave some of that nice space in there so that you can actually see the texture mark. It shows a little more texture if you don't over blend. I probably will be over blending today. That's just kind of my thing. Seems like I just tend to do that. And that's all right. It's just everybody's preference. I love the way it looks when it's not as blended, but I tend to blend until I just feel good about the way it looks. Okay, you probably can't see that because I just pulled that over here. Sorry about that. I just pulled that clear around thinking that you were just going to go with me. And you don't, you stay right there. So, okay, so you can see that's pretty much those 3 colors, the candy apple, the candy papaya, and the violet lemonade. Those are really, you know, they're kind of shown just as one. I mean, I see all the colors, but it's really a lot of the same value. So I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to throw some yellow on in a few spots, and then I'm going to just blend that in a bit. I don't want it to look like I just threw it on, you know, and didn't blend it. I'm going to throw that in and blend it up a bit. I really like that. Let's go with a little more yellow on this side. I'm still on yet. I think if I kind of keep you right here, I should be okay. So I've got the yellow on this end, and then I'm kind of softening it with this other end just so that I can blend it in with all of my colors. And then down here on this part, I really kind of want to keep this violet lemonade going. And so I think I'm going to leave this section for now. Let me just see I don't know that I'll like this part stippled. Let me just look and see what happens when I come in and stipple this. Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to like that so much. Let me just take a look here. Let me grab some violet lemonade. I'm just not sure that I want this first rung. I kind of want this to just be, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you like that with the stippling on that little section too, or should it be straight pink? Because I can come in and add in a little yellow too to lighten it up and tie it in with this leg. What do you think? Do you like that stippling down there, or should I kind of just do this little section here solid and let this turned part all be stippled? Because it could just be solid like this. Although this is kind of where the leg starts. Okay, you know what, you may answer differently, but I'm gonna just go ahead and I am gonna stipple this part as well. Okay, and as I need more of the yellow, I can add a little more of our honeycomb, and I'm actually gonna get out some more dreamsicle. And let's add that in while we're at it. I'm gonna grab a little dreamsicle here, little honeycomb there, and let's just add a little bit more brightness to this leg, just so we get a little more character on it. Not too much down here, probably not quite that much down there. Just kind of want that to stay in the A little bit redder down there. All right. Okay, so now building with this lighter color too, I'm really starting to like that. I'm going to come back in with a little bit of my violet lemonade. And you can see this is kind of like gradual building. And now a little more of my candied papaya. A few less spots now, because I want it to really start to show that I've got, you know, certain colors, specific colors I should say, so that we're seeing that there is a difference in this paint. Let's go back in with just a titch of the yellow, our honeycomb, a little bit bigger titch than that, and just kind of leave some there this time instead of blending it too much in. And we'll turn it. I'm just going to blend that in. Not sure is making a quick job of those lakes, isn't it? So I think that's going to look really pretty, and I'll blend in. Well, I won't be blending. I'm just going to make this will be solid when I get my third trip on it, my third layer. Let me just hit that really quick. Okay, so you can see this side of the leg. Okay, I've got just a little bit of every color everywhere. Then I'm still going to put blue up here on these legs, on these little feet. So I'll figure out how I want to apply that blue. All right, let's do this again. Let's do this one more time on this next leg. Well, I should say that we're going to do this 3 more times. So we've got 3 legs to go. And I'm going to start in again with my candied apple and my candied papaya. And to start with, I'm going to go pretty heavy. There's a lot of paint there, because right now I need to get paint on the leg. And again, this caddy, it just, like, it's so great the way it lays paint down, and the little bit of stippling gives it that texture that I was looking for. So I'm happy that I've gone this direction. I wasn't quite sure as I sat and thought about it this afternoon while I was getting my hair done. I just thought, oh, once you start, you've got that stippling going, so you have to kind of make a decision. But I like it. I think it's good. And sometimes when you stipple, do this type of a process, you're going to kind of lay your paint down in a little bit thicker layers. So brushing this on with my artist brush was going pretty slow, and it was even slow with my little D as far as getting it on there this fast. But when we put it down like this with texture, we're depositing and leaving a much bigger, you know, chunk of paint on there at one time. Okay, so that's why this is covering so quick. All right, I'm going to come into some of my violet lemonade now. Get that on. A little bit more. Got to get it on all the sides. And I'll have to work those inside pieces to tie in and match. Okay, just stipple. And you'll see if you're using this caddy, or if you have, you know how fast this method blends with whatever you've got on there. So it blends together pretty fast, which is a nice way to go. All right, we're going to come in with some yellow now and some dreamsicle. So I got my lighter colors coming in, a little bit less. I'm going to take this one dip into the paints and I'm going to lay it out here in a few spots. And then I'm going to come around and I'm just going to stipple it in. I'm just going to blend it in. I don't want it to look like tiger or leopard spots. I just want it to blend in nice. And that's what this does when you've got that wet paint on your bristles here and then wet paint underneath. It just is helping it to kind of just go all together. All right, we better get back into the candied apple and just put it on here. Just kind of want that a little bit more red down at the bottom. All right, that went on pretty quick on that part. Let's add just a little bit of these 2 lighter colors down here. Okay, and again, I can just throw those on really quick and then come back in and really blend them to look nice. And I'm just forming, you know, additional colors. Then you can kind of go back and forth on your legs. I've got a little more candy apple on that one than this one, but I don't really care. I'm not trying to duplicate every leg. When you're doing this type of method, I don't really think that you can exactly duplicate especially far away like this. When you're working straight across a piece, I think it's easier to tie it together, but when I'm going leg to leg, it's going to have a little different look on each one, and that's part of the fun in it. So don't sweat that kind of stuff if you're not able to recreate. Well, I can't recreate anything. I don't know about you guys, but even if I'm painting the same thing side by side, the two pieces look completely different. I don't know why I can't do that, but I've tried many times, and I've painted for booths, bulk things, assembly line stuff, and they still all turn out just a little bit different. So I would not worry one bit about it looking a little bit different. Okay, I'm just going to put what paint's on my brush right down here. Give this a little head start, just because there's so much wood on this part. Or not so much wood, there's wood on everything. There's so many little carvings in the wood. And so I really want to get this paint down in everything. All right, again, let's just start candy apple red and candied papaya. And guys, this is the first time I've done like a piece start to finish live, like multiple lives. Usually I get started on one, I show everybody how you get started, and then it just seems like, oh, this is such a big piece. I'm going to bore them to death with all of my fiddling. And so I don't go back live. It's not that I don't want to go and show you how to finish, because that's not really my thing. I don't want to just give everything away, I guess, but I kind of do. And that's maybe one of my downfalls. I just really love teaching. And at this point in my life, that's what brings me joy. And so it's never that I don't want to just get on and share it. It's just like I'm so afraid everybody's going to be so bored watching this same process across a whole big piece of furniture. But it's kind of fun. I mean, I like watching people start to finish. So then I thought, well, why not? This is a small table. If I lose my audience after 2 or 3 parts, it's okay. I'm still going to finish it up, and I'm going to be brave and do this. Even at the risk of boring you guys, just grab a soda or, something, some chips to munch on. Just stick with me. Let's see if we can't make this table beautiful. All right, now this is getting pretty wet, which is fine. And I don't even think I have another caddy here. I think they're all in my retail space. So I'm really, I've got to keep my caddy usable here. So I'm just going to pull out a little bit of that paint and come in with my yellow and my dreamsicle now, and I'm going to just hit these again like I did before, here and there. Just this, the freshest paint, it needs to hit everywhere. So now you can see what I mean by we don't want leopard spots. That's not the look I want. I want it to look soft, but I can still see the yellow, and there's the dreamsicle, and there's candy apple red, and there is a heavy part of the violet lemonade. I can see my candied papaya right there. So I'm seeing all those colors still, but they're not splotchy. I don't really want splotchy. I kind of want things to blend well together. Another thing that I know for me is when I'm working on a piece of furniture like this, it really probably is to my benefit to kind of work through it quickly, because if I start something and then I stop, I like watching no matter the steps that need to be taken to down. Oh, Melissa, I'm the same way. I love that. Hi, Susie. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I love watching. That's kind of my relaxation thing, is I'll find somebody that's on live or see a replay, and I'll just sit down and watch people paint, just because it is relaxing and enjoyable. All right, a little more yellow on this one. I kind of lost my yellow here. I'll just pull it together a little bit. And you can always come back. If this dries and you've got some spots that maybe aren't as heavy as others, you can add this in anytime you want to. You can just keep adding. This technique is really forgiving. I kind of feel like I lost a little bit of the dark down here. Got a little bit too blended. It's such a small area. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that candied apple back in right there. And then I'm going to throw in a little bit of violet lemonade on it. That's just literally for my enjoyment here. I can now see those colors, and that's kind of what I want, is to be able to see them all. All right, we're doing pretty good, guys. We've got 3 legs done. We're going on to the 4th. All right, right back in. Same Same technique, same kind of, you know, I'm going to pick these two colors up first and then add on. That's what I was saying before I looked at a comment. I told you guys I get so distracted. If I can try and keep the same kind of rhythm going, the same technique, start to finish on a piece, I'm much better off, because if I don't, I forget what I've done. I forget from one day to the next, or, you know, one piece to the next. How did I get that started? Or what, you know, what method was I doing there? And so it's better for me to just keep working. Now, if I videoed it, if it was like a live, I can go back and watch my live. Literally, I've had to do that and go, okay, now wait, how was I doing this one? And so I'll do that. I'll go back and watch a live, and just, you know, in private, so nobody knows I'm having to watch my own live to figure out what I was doing. So anyway, I'll do that, and that's helpful to me. But sometimes these type of pieces, it's just good for me if I can just keep working on them. Okay, I'm stuffing a bunch of candied papaya down here around this turned leg because it was pretty bare. I think I've missed it a couple times through. So I'm just kind of adding that in. And let's just get these two colors. I'm still working in the candied apple and candied papaya. Let's just get these in all around here, and then I'll start bringing in the other colors. Okay. And this brush holds an awful lot of paint as you're working. And that's why it blends so nice, is because it stays wet, and you can see how far it's worked up the bristles. You know, we don't ever want to get it clear up in here. And on an artist brush, the same thing. You never want it to get up near the ferrule, because if it starts to get up in the ferrule and it dries down in here, that's what starts to separate your brushes. Instead of being nice and tight, it opens them up a little bit. So I'm always quite aware, and it's not like I'm dipping my paint in that far, but this is just the way we move our paint. As we're hitting the bristles, it's just going to move up, and that's the same way when we're using a flat. You know, you may just be dipping the end in, and pretty soon it's like almost full, and you have to rinse it out for fear it's going to get at that point of no return mark. You don't want it to be there. So anyway, there's a little bit of information on brush care. Just want to try and take care of them the best that we can. Okay, excuse me. A little bit over here. So now I'm just in that violet lemonade and the candied papaya. No more candied apple on the brush. And excuse me. I'm just going to wipe a little bit of this off on these little sections that aren't getting any paint on them. Just try and clean my brush a bit. And I definitely want my violet lemonade to stay here. I've wondered if I was going to change my mind on that, but I'm not. I want those blocks to stay violet lemonade with the rim of this piece. Okay, again, I'm just wiping out some of this excess paint because I've been dipping in really heavy, and I want to be able to have my honeycomb and my dreamsicle show now. All right. If you wipe out too much, then you kind of get in a trouble of you don't have anything to mix your color with, because part of the mixing and the ease of this mixing is the paint that's in your brush. But the leg on this right now is just so wet. Is that you, Stevie? Oh, I think maybe somebody's here. Anyway, the paint on my leg is so wet that I've got plenty of paint to sit and tap into. Okay, so I'm in no danger of losing my ability to blend right now. These legs are so wet. They're going to take overnight to dry now. They're that wet. But I put a lot of paint on, you guys, in this time we've been together so far. Okay, a little bit more yellow. We've lost a little bit of yellow. Okay, and I'm just going to tap that lightly now. Leave some of that yellow sitting on top. Just here and there. I don't want a ton of it, just a little bit. I love that yellow peeking through. It's always kind of my peek through color. One time I did a trunk and its main color was yellow, and I have to say it's gorgeous. It is really pretty, and I use turquoises and pinks and all sorts of colors on it and some copper, and it really did turn out beautiful. And that's the only piece I've ever done that is yellow. So I usually use it as kind of just that little peek through color. Alrighty, so we have got these legs. I'm going to just turn them slowly for you to see. You can see no two are alike, yet they're enough the same that they look good together on this piece of furniture. We're okay with it. And if it dries and I'm like, oh, that place, you know, that spot needs a little bit of help, I just come back in and I can do a second coat, not as extensive, because this really did lay my paint down nice and thick. But I can, you know, tie things in a little bit. And I bet when I flip it up, I'm going to see spots underneath some of this that I missed since I have it upside down. And so then I'll be able to kind of fix that little issue at that time too, and just blend in some more. And these are always the hardest, the back sides of legs. But they're important because I'm going to see these. So I'm going to do that off camera though, because I have to do some acrobatics to get in there and be down on my hands and knees and all sorts of things. Okay, so I think those are good. Let me see what time it is. Okay, we've only been on a half hour, so I think we're good. If everybody is willing to just hang on a little bit longer as we work one more session on this, I do want to wrap my my caddy. I don't want it to get ruined, so I'll just grab my press and seal here, and then I just tear off a little piece. You could put it in a bag, or you could do it in a wet towel, whatever is the most handy. But for me, I'm just going to use this little piece of press and seal, and I'm going to take my water girl, and I'm going to just saturate my bristles. I want to keep that paint nice and wet because I want to be able to clean it out after this. You know, my worst thing about wrapping it like this, guys, is I forget that they're wrapped and that they need to be cleaned. So I've kind of gotten into the habit of wrapping them and then setting them by my water tub so that I know it has to go. All right, let's just move on here and do another coat of this blending. If any of you were on earlier today, you watched this process once. For those of you that weren't, you are going to get to watch the process of working this section. So I've got my mops, my turquoise iris, the Boss, the turquoise iris mops. The two I used, I washed out earlier today, and then I set them out in the sun while I was gone, and they're perfectly dry and nice and fluffy, so they're in good shape, ready to go for me. So I'm going to pull out two of them, and I'm going to spritz just a tiny bit on this because it is very dry. So I'm just going to come across with a little bit of water. I don't want it dripping because I want my paint to be really strong. This time through, I'm going to just get my colors on. I'm going to wipe that off, grab my yellow, add it down here, both sides, okay. I want to see that yellow on there. And as I blend, when I blend this, it pulls the paint so it becomes more transparent across it. Now, before I did this in little tiny sections, and this time I'm going to kind of just go full force in here. I'm going to get my candied papaya. So this is our orange. I'm going to add it in here. And this is like much less involved at this point because I've already done this once, and I've already got this laid out. So let's just go in here and let's just take away this hard edge. Oops, I just put my finger right in that wet leg. That's okay, didn't ruin it. Okay, so I'm just going to come in. I'm just going to start to blend off my hard edge. I don't want to see where that yellow and dreamsicle meet up. I want that to just be just a pretend line there. I want it to just fade out, and then I'm going to come in here with the yellow and our honeycomb and our candied papaya. Doing the same thing here. I want to just soften this out. I just pull it along as I need to. I'm going to come back in with this mop, and I'm just using this mop for these lighter colors on the center, just so I don't get them too colored up with our candied papaya and the violet lemonade. So now it's the violet lemonade's turn. I'm going to pull it in from the edge, I'll hit my squares again. I want these really crisp, and maybe I'll put like a cute little stencil on those or something. I don't know, just something fun. Okay, and I'm gonna come right here with my violet lemonade across. It's gonna have a lot of coats on yet by the time I'm done, because every time I get by one of these, I do a full coat on the violet lemonade part, but it's just so pretty. Okay, so I've got this violet lemonade coming into the candied papaya. Soft little mop out here is all it needs, because these are so close in color too. And then we've got this pretty, you know, faded color. Now this is a little too much for me there, so I'm just going to soften it out a little bit more, and you can just adjust this as you go along as it starts to dry and you're like, yeah, that's a little bit too bright right there, and you can just pull it back a little bit. Okay, now that's just right for me, and then I'm going to come in with my violet lemonade right here, straight down this piece here, pulling it in towards the candied papaya. Just wanted to overlap a little bit, and in kind of a streaky fashion, so I kind of lift up as I'm going towards the color that I'm blending into. I kind of lift my brush up a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with this mop. I'm going to mop out a little bit towards the violet lemonade so I don't lose my candied papaya there. Okay, so I kind of feel like, I don't know, what do you guys think? Is it too bright in the middle, or do you like it? This is really bright, and then it kind of fades out into these more sunset-y colors. But I kind of like it. I think it's fun to have that little pop in the front. Hi, Kathy. Thank you for watching. I don't know, what do you guys think? You like that brightness in the center? I think it kind of looks good. We'll see what it looks like when I flip it up the right way. But I'm loving the legs and the fact that that caddy just does that work so fast for me. And I'll work on the feet and stuff. Let's do one more together here, and then I'll let you guys go, because I feel like I've been hogging time today, already having gone on once. So let's just spritz this little section again. I'll let you watch one more time blending. I'm just so grateful that you're here with me. It makes it really fun to work on a piece. So let's go down through here. That's our dreamsicle. It's just a very, very light corally pink color. And here with our honeycomb, it's a bright yellow. But you know, all of these light colors, we start mixing them together and we lose a little bit of the brightness. Especially with like dreamsicle, it's got a lot of white in it because it's such a light color. And so anytime we add white, we're kind of dulling and lightening our colors. So that's why we kind of get into that little bit of trouble here. And I'm just gonna mop this together, lose that crisp line from the honeycomb. I don't have to worry about the outside edges yet because I've got to add I think that's nice. I like that. I think we're in good shape with that bright in the center. Sometimes it can be overpowering, but I don't think on this piece because it's so small. Okay, so now we want candied papaya, our beautiful orange, to come down. Now, something's going on upstairs at my house and I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's my dog or if somebody's here. Alrighty, just blend this in. See how soft this mop just takes away those harsh edges? It just does such a nice job, doesn't it? Okay, now all we have left here is to get on our violet lemonade. So I'm just going to wipe my brush. I'm going to add that violet lemonade from the outside edge coming in towards the candied papaya, lifting it up and off a little bit as I pull it in towards the candied papaya. Just so I don't leave like a straight line, I can just lift it up kind of like an airplane taking off. And that just kind of already leaves you some feathered strokes there to start working your blending with. Oh, I hear either my husband or one of my boys up there. Not sure what it is. Okay, this I need a little more blending. Just like I said, as it starts to dry, you'll know if you need to blend it just a little more, and right there it was a little harsh for me. Same thing there. Okay, so just got that going. All right, now just as a kind of a point of reference, you can see, although similar, they're not exactly the same, are they? And that's okay. Nobody's gonna be walking around my table looking at the entire edge going, oh, that one has more yellow, that side has more pink. So I'm not worried about that, and I hope that you guys, as you're painting, that you can kind of let go of some of those moments that, I don't know, they kind of take away some of the fun out of it. So I hope you've learned something from this blending technique and from our amazing caddy brush. That was super fun and fast to get that on those legs, and I like it. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like that much effect, that much finish as opposed to this, but I think that they look really pretty together. And then we'll get those feet with some blue on, and then we'll do the top. I'll come back on. I'll just find a time when I have a minute and hop back on, and I've got to get this table done. So it's going to be within, you know, probably tomorrow sometime I'm going to hop back on if I can before I take my grandkids to the pool. It's last day of school, so I'm hoping to be able to do that tomorrow. So tomorrow or Saturday, I'm going to hop on and we're going to do the top of this table together. Do a nice full finish on it, let it dry, and then I want to paint some, maybe paint some of these flowers if I decide that I want to add that much more stuff to it. I think that'd be kind of fun to paint, like, you know, set just chunks of the flowers, not like one great big one in the middle, but just odd, like this pillow is, and then some scroll lines, just do some stroke work with the turquoise. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. We've been on 40 minutes and we've accomplished a lot on this. And I really appreciate everybody being here and the support that you give us here at Paint Pixie. If you don't follow my page, it's From My Palette to Yours. I'd love for you to hop on over there and follow me, give me a like. And if you need any of these products, they are all on my website, again, FromMyPaletteToYours.com. I'd love to help you out with anything, and I'm always here to answer questions, whether you buy something from me or not. I'm always around to answer questions, so just private message me through Facebook, through my Facebook page, and I'm happy to help you with anything. You guys take care. Bye.